Hello, everybody. Welcome to episode 3 of 4 of this one, where we are focusing on the speaking. Speaking is really the steering wheel of your life. The words that we speak, that has the impact how our reality is shaping. So I'm not going to get into the details of the first or second episode. If you want to, you can, watch them. They are marked in the episodes. The first one was from James, the second one was from Proverb. And if you have seen my framework on my website, I talk about this, the rich quadrant and the mindfulness triangle. And this is all about speaking, how speaking from thinking to speaking to action. This is how we make our life better. So if you have any question, feel free to ask in the comment section. But we'll get right to it today, because in the beginning of the first and second, I give a lot of details about this framework, how I came up with it, and how 2.5 years ago, how my life fell apart and how I got in here. But today, let's get started. In this episode, it is words reveal our thinking. So they say thinking, we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts. In different places they say, some places they say we have 60 to 70,000 thoughts a day. Some places they say 6 to 7,000. So whatever you take, there are thousands of thoughts every day. You know that, right? From there, Joe Dispenza says, because he has lots of different ways of measuring it with tools and stuff like that, and 95% of the thoughts are similar, like the day prior. So unless we intentionally speak something different, it is not going to change. Our life is not going to change. And in the self-help world, they talk about thinking, feeling, action, which I don't fully agree. The reason is because when you think of something, and I'll give you 5 seconds, think of something that was challenging last week. Right away, the feeling comes, right? You can't control the feeling. However, when there is a pause between the thinking and speaking, let's say somebody said something about you that triggered you, right? You pause before you speak a word. Let's say you are talking about that with a friend. You pause and you gather your thoughts. Then when you speak, more than likely it will be a little bit more positive than what you will right away speak, right? So, and then that speaking creates the action. Either the action is going to go positive or negative. So today's verb, words reveal our thinking. Today's verb, today's, oh my God. Today's episode, that's what I meant. I hope you guys are laughing too with me. I can't see you guys, unfortunately. I wish YouTube was both ways. Matthew 12:34. Matthew 12:34. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. If you have read Dale Carnegie book, the book named how to make friends and influence people. How to make friends and influence people. How did I forget that? Because I have listened to that audiobook like 5-6 years ago, maybe 40 times. Anyway, because I was in a corporate, I had like hundreds of people, not hundreds, 100 people in the team, and I was kind of helping with the team building, whatnot, and that book was so helpful. Anyway, at the time, I was not introduced to Bible or anything, because I grew up all my life Hindu, and then after everything fell apart, I was Buddhist. I don't know Buddhist, but I followed Buddhism for a while, like 4 or 5 months, and then series of unexplainable events is what got me into Christianity. At the same time, I'm not very traditional Christian. I'm not going to get into this in this video, but the point is, so back in the day when I listened to that book, that really stuck with me, because it is true. Whatever we are thinking, it's like the you can think it's like the iceberg, right? Iceberg has one ninth, sorry, I forgot, but anyway, I think 1/10 that shows up at the top of the ocean, and the rest stays underneath. It's just like our human mind, the thinking, right? We have 95% of that much thought inside, but the little bit of the words that we speak, that is how people perceive us, right? People will know based on the words that we are speaking, based on how we are communicating. They don't know, at least until now, not not until now. People can read our minds. People can't thinking, oh my God, my coffee is in the microwave. I'll get it for the next one. So the point is that whatever we are thinking, when we pause and we speak the words, then those words are more positive. So whatever we are thinking, we just have to remember when we slow down. And the episode 1 and episode 2 of this series, because it's a four episode series, after today there will be one more. I tell you in the first one how slowing down helped me initially when after everything fell apart, and then I was making the journaling videos. I was slowing down, and I didn't even know this happened. Like it's a practical lessons, right? So it was not based on theory, because I have followed self-help for a long time and it was not working. So I'm like, I was just doing whatever I could so that I don't die, because otherwise I probably would have killed myself. Not probably. I was in a pretty dark place. But anyway, that slowed down my speaking. And even from YouTube, people tell me that, my calming voice and all that. I'm like, oh my God, I never knew I had that. So it becomes a habit. It becomes a habit because for many months I did that. And I don't say all of this to brag. I just share this because I'm a normal person. If I could do it, you can do it, right? So that's the whole point. That it slowed down the speaking, and that helped me to the second part is the letting go. And then, because before you can find your footing, you can't even think of letting go, because you're like on a free fall. I'm like, I was on a free fall after losing my job and marriage in the same month. So slowly, I got to the point of letting go, and then I started the reinvention, right? So for some people it can be months, for some people it could be years. And in my reinvention journey in 2024, I attended many different events and whatnot, and I saw that people are actually carrying this for years, like literally like 3 years, 8 years, 14 years. I'm like, oh my God, why are these people like, carrying this? It's not intentional, but they're holding on to this, either they're not ready to let go, or the pain is so deep that they probably don't think it's possible to have a better life. So those are a lot of the things that became like why I became so passionate about helping people in this journey. Because as I kept going, I saw the impact of speaking positively, right? So I have this book. This is the first book of my trilogy, Grateful After Goodbye, Pain to Purpose. It came out late last year of 2025. This is overall book number 2, but book 1 of the trilogy, and book 2 of the trilogy will be end of this year, end of 2026. But anyway, the reason I'm not showing you this book to buy the book on Amazon, but the point is, when I started my journey, I can tell you, even in my wildest dreams, I never thought I'm gonna write a book. I have 2 books last year, 2 books this year. I have 16 more planned, and maybe there will be more. But the point is, my friends, when you change your speaking, your life, your reality literally changes. And again, remember this, Matthew 12:34. Oh my God, it's Matthew 1, 2, 3, 4. This is so cool. I just noticed. Matthew 12:34. For out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. And in this book, I actually refer my ex as one of my best teacher, and I don't say it just for the sake of saying it, because I really, really, truly believe it, right? Because all the challenging things in our life is always teaching us, and some of it probably comes from my Hindu background. I don't know, because in Hinduism there's a concept that you choose your family and the life experience that you are going to have before you come to this world. Now, do I believe it 100%? I don't know. I'm kind of in between, maybe not, because I don't know. I believe in God, of course. You guys know I talk about it. But the point is, if I did not have those videos where I was focusing on the positive, I don't think this would have existed, and I don't think I would have looked at him as one of my best teacher, right? Because when we look at life like that, things become beautiful. Everything has a beauty in it, either if it's a plant or a tree or the sky. Okay, take care. Bye.